Hey everybody, today's topic with the Nitty Professor is mindless hat knitting. So I started this project maybe 10 days ago, and I think it's going to be pretty nice. We'll just give it a whirl here. Yeah, that's going to be super warm. I'm going to knit it to 10 inches and then do the crown shaping. So this pattern is actually a friend of mine gave it to me. It's very basic, and it's called the 0815 hat. I mean, you probably have this sitting around at your house. You can do it with or without the brim, but it's here's what it claims. The 0815 hat is a popular and classical design that has been around forever. So you just work it around, one by one ribbing, and do the crown shaping. Got a picture. And I love this because it's mindless. I've made multiple hats with this pattern. And one of the things I love is you get to just enjoy the yarn. Look at that color. I picked this up at Prairie Road Yarns in Sioux Falls. And as you can guess, it is Alafoslopi. 100% Icelandic wool knit together with this gorgeous mohair by Long Mohair Luxe. So the two knit together make for this fantabulous fabric. And with the brim up like this, it's just going to be extremely warm. And even today, it's in the 50s, but the wind is like 30 miles an hour, so I might wear this yet when I go out again today. So this is one example of my mindless knitting. It's living in this beautiful little bag that I bought in Trondheim, Norway, made by a designer. Bought it at a little boutique on their famous cobblestone street. I'll have to remember the name of it. But I've really been enjoying knitting this hat, especially with the stresses and strains of moving my son back home for a few months. And let me show you a hat that I already finished. Same pattern. And the Alafoslopi, I started with 60 stitches. This one I started with more. So it's looser fitting, it's a little more baggy, but it works great. I don't know if I would wear this in 35-mile-per-hour wind, but it's extremely cozy and comfortable. And again, this is a hand-dyed yarn knit together with a cream, light white mohair. Same pattern. So the joy, the mindless, the euphoria of knitting this type of project is you get to pick the yarn, you get to pick the wool, you get to pick the mohair, you can do any colors you want. You could switch colors if you want, and just have the pure joy of the relaxing fun. Nothing horribly challenging. Here's the same pattern. I didn't knit this one up quite as long, but this yarn is called, it's Forgotten Fiber. I ordered this off of Etsy, and it's a superwash wool. It just had this shock of color on the one side of the hank, and 100% merino. The color is called Rainbows After Dark. So it's interesting how it pooled. That's just how it pooled, So as I was knitting this, I could say, look at that. It's just fun, It's just every row that went by, I was like, wow, it's just hanging together like that. It's fascinating. And I had a little fun there with the crown shaping. Again, that's just how the colors came out, but that's just pure joy. So I can wear it if I want, like from the front, I could just look a little more classic and then turn around, but I can also just wear it like this. Lots of fun. And the fun, again, it's a simple pattern, easy as pie. The fun's in the yarn. I just love that. It's kind of like a drug. All the wool, all the colors. Now, another mindless pattern is you just you cast on, I don't know, 72 stitches, whatever you think, right? Depends on how you wear your hair and your weather and how, whether whether or not you want a brim. This is just a 2x2 rib. And I just kind of made it up as I went along. And I used this Lanaloft by Brown Sheep. It's a worsted weight, and the coloring, it's just so much fun. I mean, come on. We got your purple, your pink, your deep violet, little periwinkle in there. What wool could be more fun? And it's already moth-proofed. So I never have to worry about moths eating this hat or this yarn. It's just a simple worsted weight color, Victorian plum. I probably have enough left to make another hat for someone. Here's a very similar. So I got this. Not even sure where I bought it anymore. But once you get done with the ribbing, then you just knit 7 inches, something like that. Do the crown shaping. There are a lot of options for crown shaping. I usually just grab this pattern, to be honest. I mean, I can trust it. And these beanies are just so simple. It takes a week to make, for me anyhow. I have a busy schedule. And there you go. It's wool. It's gorgeous. And I can make any color I want. This one I can wear with navy, for example. I have Emory, so one of my sons went to Emory University. Their colors are navy and gold, so I have a hoodie that looks really great with this yellow hat. I should make a blue scarf to go with it. So easy to make and such a joy. This hat is not a whole lot harder. I kind of did a little basket weave sort of treatment with the ribbing there. I did have to think a little harder on this one to make it all line up, but it was called Crystal Palace. Is that what the kind of yarn is called? And I can wear this with pink. Very simple. I just, throughout the winter, I'm always wearing this or that hat. Now let me show you another Mindless project that took a little longer than I wanted it to, but I'm sure you're familiar with this, the Musselburgh hat. And the trick with this is to get the proportions, to get the right number of stitches cast on and the right number of increases so that you end up with a hat that is neither too big nor too small. So I'm frankly going to admit that I struggled a little bit with that. But once I got to the point where I was on the tube, then it was Mindless. And look at this yarn. Isn't that delicious? I couldn't find the label for this, but I know I got it at Stephen B. in Minneapolis, and I'm quite sure it's a Dutch yarn, and the pooling effect is just marvelous on this. So that's what made it fun to knit. Now, as you know, the Musselburgh is just, it's basically a tube with crown shaping at either end. And then, I mean, it took a long time. This is a fingering weight yarn, so it took a long time to knit. But the bulk of it was that mindless, euphoric pleasure that you can enjoy when you have yarn that is this exquisite and the texture is, you know what it is. It's wool, and it's high quality wool. And when you put this double layered hat on, even though it's fingering weight yarn, this is so warm and it just hugs my head. It works great in snow, in the dead of winter, with high winds. I can put a hood over it and then it's even warmer. The crown shaping, it produced this kind of blue little crown at the top, kind of like a little halo going on there. Then the other side is more like a rainbow, so I could swap it up, right? I could wear it either way, which is another fun thing about this pattern. Now I look a little bit like the cat in the hat. So I would be curious if you have a similar experience with me as I do with knitting mindless hats and just enjoying, the phenomenal yarns that you can find out there today. There's just no shortage. I mean, each one of them has its own exquisite beauty, and you can just whip up a hat in a couple weeks. The Musselburgh, do the fingering weight, might take you a month, but they're just so much fun, and you can wear them all winter long. You can make them for your kids, you can make them for your grandkids, for your partner. It probably wouldn't work on my dog, but You can make them for Goodwill. There you have it. The Euphoria of mindless hat knitting. So I'd be interested in knowing if you experience a similar euphoria when you're mindlessly knitting hats, what your experience is with this wonderful craft, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Have a great evening. Bye.